Welcome back, students. In this lecture we will talk about the where clause, which is usually used in the SQL statement or SQL statements. So the where clause is basically used to limit the results returned by a query. So it basically the where clause is basically followed by a predicate, which is usually some kind of conditional statement. The predicate expression is usually runs on every record for a database, and it returns true or false. So if the condition matched the condition that is provided by the user, then it returns true, otherwise this return false. This should be familiar to everyone, as we have already used some kind of conditional statements in ArcGIS. So those basically contain some where clauses in which we search by some attribute or by some location. So in that case the query was already written, but the where clause was provided by user. So the where is normally followed by a predicate, which we have already discussed. We have already discussed in the class lectures about special and aspecial predicate. For now we won't be going into that topic, because currently we are only handling the non-special predicates. So what is basically a predicate is already discussed. It's a conditional statement which either returns true or false. In case if it is true, then the result is provided in the final results, and if it is false, the result is not included in the final results. So this is basically an SQL statement which select all columns from table naming exam centers, where is the clause which we are discussing, and gender is equal to male. The gender is the column name, and this is the whole predicate. So basically what does this query do when it runs? It runs on the whole table exam centers, and it returns all those rows where the column gender is equal to male. We should note this, that the male, this value is provided in single quotes. If it is provided in double quotes, then the software consider it as a column name. So we will discuss this later. For now we can run this query. Let's run this in our PostgreSQL and see what does it do. So here we can change our query. Select static from exam centers where gender equal to male. So as we run this query, all those results in which the gender is equal to male are returned to us. As we have discussed, we should provide this value in the single quotes. Let's see what if we provide this value in double quotes. So this, it will give us an error that column male does not exist. So why we provide the column names in double quotes? Basically when we have column names which contain some spaces or something like this, then we provide those column names in double quotes. Otherwise we can provide the column names as it is, and the values against the column are provided normally in single quotes. So this is just a query which contain a single predicate. A query can also be provided by noting multiple predicates in it. For example, if we want to return all those which have gender is equal to male, and for example gender is equal to male and ID is equal to for example 1. So all the centers which have ID is equal to 1 and gender is equal to email 1 will be returned. So this query doesn't return any result. It means that no result exists in which gender is equal to email and ID is equal to 1. So we can also use the logical operators like and or in these where statements. For example, we can also consider this, like for example ID not equal to 1. If we run this, all the centers where ID is not 1 and gender is equal to male are given are provided by the software as a result. There are certain other things which we can use with in where statements. For example, our predicate can be there's another function which we can know as the like operator. The like operator is normally used to compare strings and and return the result to user. For example, if we doesn't know the exact name of this center, but we know that this string contains, for example, ISL, and we only know that we have the center name like starting with ISL or ended with ED or something, so we can use the like operator. So the like operator is like we provide this in single quotes. So let's see a statement. If we provide the percent sign in the start, in the end, and then for example we write ISL where center like this. Okay, what's the problem with it? Let's see now. Okay, so this basically when we mention the percent sign in the end, it return all those results where center value starts with ISL. Okay, so if we bring this sign to the start and remove it from the end, then for example if we do like this and write for example ED. Okay, so we have only one row. This means that the center names ends in ED. We have another like statement in which two percent signs and string within inside it is given to the query, which means, for example, we give it a b a d. What is do is that it search the string within those whole value and return those results which contain this value. So this is basically the form of like operator which is used in the where clause. There's another operator in which we use the in operator, which we call the in operator. We'll see an example of it. The in operator is normally followed by a list of values, and what does the software do is it search for each value and then provide and then return the result to the user. For example, if we want to search the center which ID is either 165, 166, 169 or 174, for example the first four results, so we cannot do like where ID is equal to 165 and ID is equal to 166 and ID is equal to 169. What we basically do is where ID in 165, 166, 169 and 174. Let's run this and see what does it returns. Okay, so I think it must be provided in these brackets. Sorry, let's see. Okay, so what basically this list do is it select all the columns from the table where this column is either this or this or this or this. So this is called the in operator, which is usually followed by a list. So this is what was about the where statement. In the next lecture we might talk about some further clauses in the SQL, that is structured query language. Thank you for listening.